Okay, so have you ever wondered what it takes to like really understand what's going on under the hood of your car?
Well, it turns out that those folks who can speak car, the mechanics and technicians, they're becoming pretty sought after these days.
Yeah, and today we're going to do a deep dive into the world of auto technicians.
We'll be talking about their skills, their salaries, and kind of what the future holds for them. Like, is this a good career to be looking at right now?
Exactly. And to help us with this deep dive, we've got some pretty cool sources.
Yeah, we've got a couple of career guides that are specifically for folks who want to become auto techs.
And then we've also got some information from Jess Recruiting.
Yeah, and they're a recruiting firm that specializes in placing auto technicians.
So they're really seeing what the demand is like out there.
Exactly. So whether you're thinking about maybe switching careers or
just curious about what's going on in the auto industry.
Or maybe you just want to sound really smart the next time you take your car in for an oil change. This is a deep dive for you.
Absolutely. All right, so let's get right into it. One of the things that really jumped out at us from all of our sources is that, auto technician wages are on the rise.
Big time. Like, way more than just inflation.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Like, from 2015 to 2023, we're looking at a 26% increase.
Yeah.
That's huge.
That's from $37,850 to $47,770.
So those numbers, they're not, entry level either. That's the median.
Yeah, this is like the average salary. And it's projected to hit $50,000 by 2025.
Wow. So the question is, why? What's driving this huge jump in salary?
I think it comes down to a couple of big things. The first is that, cars are becoming so much more complex.
Yeah, they're basically computers on wheels now.
Right. Like, we're talking electric vehicles, self-driving features, AI diagnostics. It's a whole new ballgame.
And then on top of that, there just aren't enough qualified technicians to meet this, growing demand.
Yeah, Jess Recruiting, they actually confirmed this. They're having a hard time finding enough qualified people to fill all these jobs, and that's driving salaries up.
So it's kind of like a perfect storm, right? You've got this increasing demand for skilled techs, but you don't have the supply to meet it.
Exactly, and that's great news if you're an auto technician or thinking about becoming one.
Okay, so for anyone out there who's listening and thinking, maybe I should become an auto technician, what are some things they can do to really stand out and maybe earn even more?
Well, the first thing I would say is get certified, and not just any certification.
Yeah, I was going to say, because there are a lot of different certifications out there.
Right. You want to go for those ASE certifications.
ASE, what does that stand for again?
It stands for the National Institute for Automotive Service Excellence.
Okay. And why are those certifications so important?
Well, they're basically the industry standard. Like, if you have an ASE certification, it shows employers that you've got the skills and the knowledge to, work on today's vehicles.
Which, as we said, are way more complex than they used to be.
Right, exactly. And there are a lot of different ASE certifications.
Okay, so which ones are the golden tickets?
Well, the ones that are really hot right now are those related to all that high-tech stuff we were talking about.
Like EVs and all the driver assist systems?
Exactly. So the Advanced Engine Performance Specialist certification, that's a big one, especially with the rise of all these, turbocharged and hybrid engines.
So that's a good one to have on your resume?
Yeah. And then the certifications related to electrical systems, those are also becoming super valuable.
Because cars are just, packed with electronics these days.
Right. They're basically rolling computers.
Makes sense. So get certified and specialize in the high-tech stuff. Got it. What else?
Well, another thing that can really boost your earning potential is achieving something called Master Technician status.
Master Technician? That sounds impressive.
It is. It's basically like the black belt of auto repair.
I like that analogy.
It shows that you've got expertise across all the different automotive systems.
So it's you're not just a specialist in one area, you're a master of everything.
Exactly. And that kind of expertise can open doors to higher salaries, management roles, even owning your own shop.
So it's a good goal to aim for.
Absolutely. But it's not a one and done thing. The auto industry is constantly changing, right?
Yeah, the technology is evolving so fast, it's hard to keep up.
Exactly. So continuous learning is super important, even if you're already a seasoned technician.
So things like workshops, online courses, manufacturer training programs, all of that is key for staying ahead of the curve.
Yeah, and here's where things get really interesting.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Our sources emphasize that auto technicians need to become a little bit more like tech wizards.
Tech wizards, what do you mean?
So Basic programming skills and data analysis, those are becoming surprisingly valuable in this field.
Hold on, you're saying that mechanics need to know how to code now?
Well, think about it. Cars are generating tons of data these days.
Yeah, like about engine performance, driving habits.
Right. And if you can analyze that data, you can diagnose problems faster and even predict potential issues before they happen.
So it's like they're becoming part mechanic, part data scientist.
Exactly. And that's a really valuable skill set to have.
Okay, but let's be realistic. Not every mechanic is going to want to learn how to code. Is there still a place for the traditional hands-on mechanic?
Oh, for sure. Those core mechanical skills will always be essential.
Okay, good.
But even if you're not coding, having some basic tech fluency, like understanding how software interacts with hardware, that's going to be increasingly important for all technicians.
So it's less about becoming a full-fledged programmer and more about adapting to this new tech-infused environment.
Exactly. The line between mechanics and technology is getting blurrier and blurrier, and those who can adapt are the ones who are going to thrive.
That makes sense. Okay, so we've talked a lot about what auto technicians need to do to succeed in this new landscape.
Right.
But what about the employers? What are they doing to attract and retain these highly sought-after, tech-savvy auto technicians?
Well, Jess Recruiting was pretty vocal about this. They said that employers really need to step up their game.
What specifically do they need to be doing?
Well, for starters, they need to invest in paid training.
Makes sense. With the technology changing so quickly, technicians need to be constantly learning.
Exactly. So employers who offer tuition reimbursement for those ASE certifications or who create internal training programs, those are the ones who are going to have a leg up in attracting talent.
So it's not just about attracting new talent, it's also about investing in the people they already have.
Right. And another thing employers need to do is provide clear career paths.
You mean show technicians how they can advance within the company?
Exactly. Like mentorship programs, leadership training, opportunities to specialize in those high-demand areas. Those are all things that can help retain top talent.
It's about showing them a future, a roadmap for growth.
Yeah, exactly. And here's something that might surprise some employers. It's not all about the money.
Okay, what else is important?
Work-life balance.
Yeah.
That's becoming increasingly important.
Even in a field like auto repair.
Yeah, so things like flexible schedules, generous vacation time, good benefits, those are all becoming really important perks.
So employers who recognize that their employees have lives outside of work, they're going to be more successful in attracting and retaining top talent.
Yeah, it's about creating a work environment that's not just challenging and rewarding, but also sustainable.
Right, because nobody wants to burn out.
Exactly. And all of this points to a larger trend. The auto technician profession, it's transforming right before our eyes.
Yeah, it's no longer just about grease monkeys and wrenches.
It's about highly skilled professionals who are blending technical expertise with cutting-edge technology.
And both individuals and employers need to adapt if they want to keep up.
Totally.
Okay, so that's a great overview of the trends shaping the auto technician profession. But I'm wondering, what does this mean for the average person who just takes their car in for repairs? Like me, for example.
That's a great question. And it's something we're going to delve into further as we continue this deep dive. Because this transformation, it's not just happening under the hood.
Right.
It's impacting the whole auto industry.